Hello students, so we shall start with the new chapter, that is fifth chapter, sensation, attention and perception. So we had to do the third chapter, that is basic biological functions of human behavior. Okay, so about that we had to do, but since it is a big lesson, it is very large lesson and we need interaction, and since it is about science we need to explain and we need to know about the diagrams. Okay, so we I thought of dealing with the fifth chapter first. So the fifth chapter is sensation, attention and perception. Okay, so as you can see here, so what do you think sensation is? The way the sense. Okay, so the sense or the awareness of what is happening inside and outside the circumstances or environment, and attention is where you pay attention. Perception is how you perceive any things or situation. Okay, so yes, we shall start with the chapter. Okay, introduction and definition. To understand behavior, we must know how the sensory mechanisms are constructed and how they mediate the sense of light, sound and touch and taste. Okay, so you already know that we go through sensory organs. Sense organs sends messages to us. Okay, so to understand any behavior, to understand any person or any behavior, the sensory mechanisms are very important. Okay, and how the mediate. Okay, how the sensory mechanisms mediate the sense of light, sound, touch and taste. Okay, so as we are aware, objects do not photograph themselves, right? So when you see an image or when you see some person, it is the brain itself will not capture. Okay, the brain itself will not capture the picture. Okay, they have to go through a lot of process before we become aware of them. Before the mind become aware of them, there is a lot of process that goes through. Okay, so what is that process? All information about the world comes to us by the way of sense organs. So sense organs are very important for us. Okay, because sense organs will pass information for us, so that the mind receives messages. Okay, so henceforth sense organs are therefore called the gateways of knowledge. So you can underline this, it is very important. Sensory or sense organs are therefore called the gateways of knowledge. Okay, very important, underline. Okay, so what is sensation? Sensation can be defined as an awareness of conditions inside and outside the body. Okay, sensation, what is sensation? It is awareness of what is happening inside your body and what is happening outside your body. Okay, so for example, what is happening inside? For example, you might be feeling you might be feeling dizziness, you might be feeling tired. Okay, you might have drowsiness, you might have uneasiness. Okay, so that is all inside your body. And outside your body, you might be feeling cold, you might be feeling warmth, you might be feeling hot. Okay, so that is all outside your body. Okay, so sensation is about the awareness of condition. Okay, underline this, very important. What is sensation? When you are asked about what is sensation, you can write this. Sensation can be defined as an awareness of condition inside and outside the body. Okay, so each sensory system gathers information about a different aspect of physical environment. Okay, so our senses: hearing, vision, smell, taste, touch, balance and motion. Okay, so our sensory organs, sense organs are 5. Okay, 5 sense organs. Those are eyes, ears, nose, skin, tongue. Okay, so these are 5 sense organs. Okay, what are our senses? Okay, what are our senses? Hearing is related to ears, vision is related to eyes. Smell is related to nose. Skin is related to, touch is related to skin. And tongue is related to taste. Okay, so these are 5 sense organs and these are 5 senses. Okay, hearing, vision, smell, taste, touch. Okay, these are added on. Balance and emotions are added on. Okay, so are the products of the different sensory system. Each organ has its own receptors and specialized nerve cells that translate information from the environment and the body into nerve impulses. The brain translates these impulses into sensation. So from sense organs, sense organ sends messages to brain that this is the situation, this is the image, or this is the event, or this is the action. They send the message to brain, and brain in return sends the message to the senses like what they have to do. Okay, so this is about sensation. Okay, so you can just go through this paragraphs. You can just it is just an information about the sense organs. It is just an extra information that you need to know. That's it. Okay, so you can just read the whole paragraph. Okay, so we shall start with the new topic, psychophysics. The sensitivity of each of our sense organs is obtained in the field of psychophysics. It is concerned with the relationship between physical properties of stimuli and our psychological experiences of them. The first psychophysicist was Gustav Fechner. Okay, Gustav Fechner. So underline that. He was a professor of physics at the University of Leipzig. With a strong interest in the workings of the mind, he made an attempt to bridge the material world and the mental world. Principles were drawn from both physics and psychology to determine how the strength of intensity of a stimulus effect and strength of sensation is an observer. So you just need to know this paragraph. Okay, you just read once, that's more than enough, but you need to know that first psychophysicist was Gustav Fechner. Underline that, that's enough. Okay, so the characteristics of sensation it is very important. Okay, the characteristics of sensation. Every sensation has some fundamental characteristics that are common to all. They are fundamental characteristics. Okay, fundamental characteristics, they are thresholds, intensity, latency, duration, and extensity. Okay, so you need to by heart these 5 characteristics, okay, of sensation: thresholds, intensity, latency, duration, and extensity. Okay, so we shall see how what are these. Okay, the first one is threshold. Okay, a ray of light must reach a certain level of brightness for it to be distinguished from darkness. Likewise, a sound made in a room should reach a level of intensity for it to be heard. Okay, a certain minimum level of stimulation of sense organ is required before any sensory experience is actually evoked. Okay, the minimal amount of physical energy that is required to create a sensation is called absolute threshold. So what is threshold? Underline this. The minimal amount of physical energy, the minimal amount of physical energy that is required to create a sensation is called absolute threshold. It is also the smallest amount of energy that a person can detect reliably. It is considered reliable when a person can detect a stimulus 50% of the time by studying absolute threshold. Our researchers have found that our senses are very sharp. Okay, so what is threshold? What is absolute threshold? The minimal amount of physical energy. Okay, so you can underline this. The minimal amount of physical energy that is required to create a sensation. Okay, so the energy that required, the minimal energy that is required to create a sensation is called absolute threshold. So for example, when you want to when you want to see the light. Okay, the light has to be certain, has to have certain kind of energy, certain kind of brightness, okay, to distinguish it from darkness. So in a dark room, if you light up a candle, it has to have the brightness, okay, so that it can be recognized. So the energy level that candle gives, the energy level that candle gives us for the sensation, okay, for the eyes to feel that the candle is lighting, okay, so that energy is called as threshold. Okay, so these are some of the examples of absolute threshold. Vision. A candle flame can be seen from 30 miles away on a dark clear night. So if you want to see a candle which is lightened, so if you want to see the brightness or the light, the room should be dark. Okay. Hearing. The ticking of the watch can be heard 20 feet away under quiet condition. Okay. You can hear the ticking of the clock. Okay. The tick 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 sound. Okay. So that sound you can hear even if you are 20 feet away from the clock, but under full silence, full quiet. Okay. Taste. Sugar can be tasted when 1 teaspoon is dissolved in 2 gallons of water. So in 1 glass of water, if you put 1/4, I mean the half spoon of sugar, you cannot get the taste of sugar. But in 1 glass of water, if you put 2 spoons of sugar, you can taste the sugar. Okay, so that's how the energy, the minimal energy needs to be given to understand or to recognize the sensation. Okay. Smell. Perfume can be detected when 1 drop is diffused in a 3-room apartment. Okay. Touch. A wing of flying fall on your cheek from a distance of 1 centimeter can be felt on the cheek. So this is how it works. Sensory sensitivity is also studied by having individuals compare 2 stimuli and judge whether they are same or different. A person may be asked to compare weight of 2 blocks or the brightness of the 2 bulbs. The minimal difference between the 2 stimuli that can be discriminated reliably half of the time by a person is called differential threshold or just noticeable difference. Okay, so this is all an extra information. So we shall continue the characteristics of sensation in the next class.